And what really excites me is that Watu has achieved that image, because irrespective of attacks that you see here and there, particularly on social media, because some few people have decided to promote negative PR against Watu, take time, go to any stage within the country, talk to any Boda-Boda rider and ask them if they are Watu customers, what their journey has been. It is very rewarding. This is one of the challenges that we have with Boda industry, right? When you look at Boda industry, you're looking at it, most of the time you're looking at it from a transportation perspective, So the kind of a linkage to the government goes through the Ministry of Transportation, yeah? But when you look at innovative solution like electric bikes, is it a question of Ministry of Transport, or is it a Ministry of Transport plus who, right? So one of the challenges that I think needs to be resolved is to create a direct linkage to the government. And I think, we can borrow best practices from other sectors or industries. For example, any matter related to tourism, we have Kenya Tourism Board. Why not having Kenya Boda-Boda or Kenya, call it, Kenya Boda-Boda Board, which is a parastatal dedicated to address, issues related to Boda-Boda industry, and also this is a gateway to the government. And then this parastatal will create linkages with specific ministries for specific issues, right? So I feel like there's a massive opportunity there, because if you kind of think about the same model, even the security issues or road safety issues that we are facing, we can address using the same way. For example, we have, I'll use again tourism industry, we have tourism police unit. Why not having Boda-Boda police unit, which will address security issues and traffic related issues, particularly with the Boda-Boda, and work in partnership. And now this will give us a way to say, okay, if we are to link and partner, who are we partnering with and how? So there's a gateway. I feel like there's an opportunity in that, and if that opportunity is realized, then this conversation maybe could be going much faster, because the escalation points will be clear, and now there will be we will have a very clear entryway to communicate to the government, because there is a dedicated parastatal. And not only that, also we can formalize this industry or sector, because, for example, we've seen a very successful SACCO model rolled out to matatus, and this would make a huge difference from so many different angles, even from financing, because if we unionize Boda-Boda, we have formal SACCOs. That means now we will move away from collateralizing the asset to group collateral kind of model from a financing perspective. And if the SACCO are well regulated and they're working well, it means the risk profile has gone down, which means pricing interest will go down, So we just need a dedicated government body or parastatal to think about all these things and come with recommendation, work with all industry players and say, okay, from a policy perspective, this is what is going to happen, and this is where we see opportunities for partnership and move forward. What I think is happening, this is growth pain. If you think about Boda-Boda industry, think about the scale of it and think about the space at which this scale has happened. You realize that the Boda-Boda industry has grown really fast. It is touching so many different sectors and so many different domains, even of the government, to the point that now everyone is reacting to it. So we are on that phase, right? Because if we give a take, call it 5 years ago, the number of bikes in Kenya was less than 20% of the number of bikes we have today, okay? Now we are talking about almost 2 million bikes, and you can guess like 90% of those are doing Boda-Boda. And Boda-Boda means passenger transportation, means courier services, means delivery services, it means, so many different things for different kind of services that we are enjoying through Boda-Boda industry, right? And all of these services, they are not regulated by one government authority or one government ministry. So now we are reacting to that. So this is why I think it takes time to, okay, how do we approach it from a coordinated perspective? And this is where players like us really strongly recommend for, a central point, a gateway to the government, which could be a parastatal or a body that is dedicated to the Boda-Boda sector. So what is really exciting also is to see that there's interest from national government. For example, His Excellency the President have been at the forefront on the electric mobility, specifically targeting the electric bikes. Yeah, he's done several initiatives that we've seen, and he's been quite vocal about the general interest of the Boda-Boda industry, and that in itself communicates that the government has really good intent. The government sees the potential, recognizes the role that the Boda-Boda industry is playing. So all of these are basically pointing to the future that is really exciting. And I think, as I've said, it's a process, and any process requires time. But at least if you look at it from that perspective, the future looks quite promising. Across East Africa, I think Kenya is at the same stage with Uganda and Tanzania in terms of formalizing the industry. But Rwanda is way ahead because Rwanda, the Boda-Boda industry is very well regulated, and I would say is on a very advanced stages of being formalized. Yeah, so probably also there's a good case study to look into Rwanda, how they did it, and then take the best practices and implement across other markets. So basically, one of the things that we are also very excited about is to continue to scale up our connected devices product category. And as I've told you, this year we started with smartphone financing, and we are super excited that we are closing the year with 500,000 happy customers. Yeah, and next year we started this year. Yeah, so what we are looking forward in 2024 is to continue to scale this product category and also introduce other products within the same line. So other than smartphones, we are really excited also to introduce tablets financing starting next year at scale. And we do believe tablets play a very interesting role because tablet is like midway between a smartphone and a laptop. So we believe, particularly with our spirit of empowering entrepreneurs, by financing tablets, we are going to empower a lot of businesses that need computing power that can be achieved via tablets. Yeah, and we look forward to continue to scale up this product category, and we're really excited and looking forward for that. In terms of growth opportunities regionally, also we see opportunity to continue to grow both product categories, our mobility products and connected devices across East Africa. Tanzania is at its earliest stage compared to the three, and Rwanda. So we are looking forward to see those countries also continue to grow and expand within those markets. And also we are continuing to scale up our business in other countries. For example, 2 weeks ago, we launched smartphone financing in DRC, and being the first players in that space, we're quite excited as well. So fraud happens, and we don't have many cases of fraud. And for me, this is the general message that I always tell to different people that I meet, that the perception has to change, because many times you mention Boda-Boda, people think the Boda-Boda industry is full of goons. Nasema ni wahuni wako kwenye Boda-Boda. That is simply not true. They're really, really exciting and vibrant young people who have brilliant business ideas and business ambitions, and they don't have a starting point, and starting point has to be Boda-Boda. Okay? So as much as you hear Boda-Boda, you may think we are facing rampant fraud. That is simply not true. But in case we have fraud cases, we do have fraud detectors, which are internal measures which can tell us early on this kind of a sale is a fraudulent in nature, and we do have very well established procedures to address those. And when it requires us to use law enforcement, we work very closely with the police force and go after people who have fraudulent intent. And I think one thing that I'm really proud is, irrespective of few people who have fraudulent intent, particularly on the Boda business, we are very optimistic as a business, and we believe in the community of Boda-Boda riders, and we have not let those few people spoil for the rest. Yeah? Because if now we can confidently say more than 500,000 customers are successful asset owners, they're running successful businesses, then that clearly says, yes, irrespective of few fraudsters, our impact is big. And speaking of impact, I really want you to think about it this way. In Kenya, research suggests that for every one working adult, there are at least 5 people who are depending directly or indirectly to them. So literally, we have more than 2 million people in our community that we've impacted because of what we do. So yes, there would be fraud, but there is this perception like these are goons, but I'm here advocating for them and say, you know, we have over 2 million people being supported by the Boda-Boda customers that we have financed, and we are very proud because we are in business because of them. Watu is the Swahili word for people, and that really speaks about our mission, our commitment to values and everything that we do. And this is why we're very customer-centric, because at the core of this business is people, and it is people we serve, but also it is people who serve the people we serve. Yeah. So one thing that I really love about Watu, it's not about having a business that is purely doing business for the sake of making profit, because the classical saying goes as the objective of any business is to make profit, but Watu is for Watu, is by Watu. So this really reminds us every day we work, every day we see each other to celebrate the human among ourselves, whether it is within our staff, or whether it is within our customers, or whether it is within the communities that we serve. Yeah? And what really excites me is that Watu has achieved that image, because irrespective of attacks that you see here and there, particularly on social media, because some few people have decided to promote negative PR against Watu, take time, go to any stage within the country, talk to any Boda-Boda rider and ask them if they are Watu customers, what their journey has been. It is very rewarding. I definitely recommend that, particularly to our staff, because for me, a secret that I have is whenever we are facing a lot of headwinds and storms, I normally take 5-10 minutes a day, go through our database and call random customers and get to hear their stories, and my energy level comes back, or even more than when I start, because what you hear as you speak to these people is one simple message, which is, I'm grateful, my life would have not been here if it was not for you. And if you get to do a business with a purpose, now you feel like you're spending your day with a purpose. Even if you're going through a challenge, I'm going through this challenge, but there's a purpose. There's something bigger beyond what I do, and that is a great source of energy and motivation for me. And I think this is the most exciting part. So what I'd like to see is we as Watu continue to maintain the same spirit, we continue to maintain the same values, and we continue to put in practice our belief in people, and empower people, and continue to do what we do and continue to scale. Because right now we only have 2 product categories. 10 years down the road we should have 10 product categories, which means we're impacting bigger number of people. And also another theme that is emerging, which is quite exciting, Watu is now transforming from being a Kenyan company to a Pan-African company. So I would be really excited to be part of the story one day and say, we are the largest asset financing in Africa, and this story started in Kenya, and I've been part of this story for X number of years. I think that is going to be really exciting.